You do research carefully, like a porcupine makes love. When I came to dinner, my mother had only two things on her menu, take it or leave it. Too bad that all the people who know how to run the country are driving taxis and cutting hair. Insanity is hereditary, you get it from your children. A person should always to be pursued rather than to pursue others. God couldn't be everywhere, so he created mothers. You may be disappointed if you fail, but you will be doomed if you don't try. Surrounding yourself with dwarfs does not make you a giant. If I am not for myself, who is for me? And if I am only for myself, what am I? And if not now, when? Anyone who says he can see through women is missing a lot. I am for my beloved and my beloved is for me. At the racetrack, I follow horses, and the horses I follow other horses. Against every great and noble endeavor are 1,000 mediocre minds. It's not how much or how little you have that makes you great or small, but how much or how little you accomplish with what you have. My idea of an agreeable person is a person who agrees with me. A person should always eat and drink less than what he can afford, dress and cover himself in accordance with his means, and honor his wife and children beyond his means. Experience is what we call the accumulation of our mistakes. A half-truth is a whole lie. A person should always live in a neighborhood of lions, rather than a city of evildoers. I think art, literature, fiction, poetry, whatever it is, makes justice in the world. That's why it almost always has to be on the side of the underdog. The person should always be soft like a reed, and not rigid like a cedar. Women's history is the primary tool for women's emancipation. There can be lunacy without love, but is there any great love without a little lunacy? The person should always push away with his left hand, but draw near with his right hand. Now I know the things I know, and I do the things I do, and if you do not like me, to hell, my love, with you. True emancipation begins neither at the polls nor in courts. It begins in woman's soul. Sex without love is a meaningless experience, but as far as meaningless experiences go, it's pretty damn good. You can be lonely even when you are loved by many people, since you are still not anybody's one and only. We are never so defenseless against suffering as when we love. If your wife is short, bend down and whisper to her. This law of love requires that every man be treated as a thou, a person, an end in himself, never merely as a thing or a means to another's end. Be careful to honor your wife, for blessing enters the house only because of the wife. You can't force anyone to love you, or lend you money. The wife is as a protective wall to her husband. Loving kindness is greater than laws, and the charities of life are more than all ceremonies. If a dog barks at you, stay. If a female dog barks at you, leave. Do not celebrate among the mourners, and do not weep among revelers. If one has eaten garlic and has acquired a bad odor, he must not eat more garlic, because the bad odor is about him already. One may decline the request of a lesser person, but one may not decline the request of a great person. Just as you are obligated to speak when your words will be heeded, you must remain silent when you know your words will be ignored. The liar's punishment is that even when he speaks the truth, no one believes him. When our love was strong, we could have lain on the blade of a sword. Now that our love is not strong, a bed of 60 cubits is insufficient. Don't make a mountain out of a molehill. We're 2 Jews, 3 opinions. Loose tongues are worse than wicked hands. One mother achieves more than 100 teachers. Sympathy doesn't provide food, but it makes hunger more endurable. When a habit begins to cost money, it's called a hobby. What you give for the cause of charity and health is gold. What you give in sickness is silver. What you give after death is lead. Don't be too sweet lest you be eaten up. Don't be too bitter lest you be spewed out. What the daughter does, the mother did. Who finds a faithful friend, finds a treasure. Let your ears hear what your mouth says. What soap is for the body, tears are for the soul. Don't approach a goat from the front, a horse from the back, or a fool from any side. Truth is the safest lie. Don't look for more honor than your learning merits. I felt sorry for myself because I had no shoes, until I met a man who had no feet. If you don't aspire to great things, you won't attain small things. When you open a door, don't forget to close it. Treat your mouth accordingly. Taxes grow without rain. Don't trust someone who tells you all of his troubles, and keeps you from all of his joys. What you don't see with your eyes, don't witness with your mouth. With money in your pocket, you are wise, and you are handsome, and you sing well too. Don't open a shop, unless you know how to smile. The only truly dead are those who have been forgotten. If you can't go over, you must go under. Locks keep out only the honest. The bird that you set free may be caught again, but a word that escapes your lips will not return. I ask not for a lighter burden, but for broader shoulders. Only love gives us the taste of eternity. Sympathy is a little medicine to soothe the ache in another's heart. Beware of the person who gives you advice according to his own interests. It is easier to guard a sack full of fleas than a girl in love. The innkeeper loves a drunkard, but not for a son-in-law. The mother understands what a child does not say. Loneliness breaks the spirit. Your friend has a friend, and your friend's friend has another friend, so know when to keep quiet. The righteous say little and do much. The slave shows his true character, not while he is enslaved, but when he becomes a master. When you have no choice, mobilize the spirit of courage. If there is bitterness in the heart, sugar in the mouth won't make life sweeter. Better an honest smack in the face than a false kiss. If you lie on the ground, you cannot fall. Don't sell the sun to buy a candle. No one is as deaf as the man who will not listen. First learn, and then form opinions. Don't make a fence more expensive or more important than what it is fencing. All is predicted, and permission is given at any point to change anything. Whenever feeling downcast, each person should vitally remember, for my sake, the entire world was created. Our heads are round, so thought can change direction. The Creator is not in advance of his generation, but he is the first of his contemporaries to be conscious of what is happening to his generation. Surely there is a future, and your hope will not be cut off. Man is wise only while in search of wisdom. When he imagines he has attained it, he is a fool. Only a life lived for others is a life worthwhile. Trust yourself. Create the kind of self that you will be happy to live with all your life. Make the most of yourself by fanning the tiny inner sparks of possibility into flames of achievement. To be kind is more important than to be right. Many times, what people need is not a brilliant mind that speaks but a special heart that listens.